Ladies and gentlemen, attendees and exhibitors, welcome to the Sprott Vancouver Natural Resources Investment Symposium virtual tour. It's an extraordinary pleasure for me to introduce the various exhibitors at the Sprott Conference. You should know that in every case, public company exhibitors that are allowed to present at this conference are companies which are owned by Sprott and/or Sprott affiliates. There is no guarantee, of course, with our ownership that the share prices go up, but there is a guarantee that we understand our exhibitors well enough that we have invested our own money in them. For many years, the attendees have told us that the fact that we consider our exhibitors to be content rather than mere advertisers is the primary reason that this conference stands so far above all of its other competitors. Once again, thank you so much for participating in this conference. And do please visit our exhibitors. That's where the rubber meets the road in terms of making money from this conference. Fission Uranium and predecessor companies operated by CEO Dev Randhawa and this management team have exhibited at these conferences virtually for as long as we have been presenting these conferences. Longtime attendees know that I'm already bullish about the uranium business, and I'm particularly bullish about big deposits. Fission Uranium operates a very large deposit, the SSR deposit, in Canada's Athabasca Basin, which has been termed the Persian Gulf of the uranium business. It's worthy to know that in addition to a Tier 1 deposit, this is a serially successful management team, having built and sold other public companies in the past. Finally, it's worth knowing that the largest shareholder of Fission Uranium is China General Nuclear, one of the largest uranium investors in the world. We welcome Fission Uranium, and we suggest that all of our attendees pay attention to the uranium business in general and fission in particular. Seebridge Gold, led by CEO Rudy Frank, who has been a friend of Sprott's for 20 years, have what is probably the brand name public company for gold optionality. The company was put together 20 years ago to buy gold in the ground at really cheap prices, which would benefit if the price of gold went up, and benefit the shareholders have. This company, even in markets like this, has made great returns for shareholders. It's worthy to note that this company is extremely closely held, meaning that despite its fairly large market cap for a junior, the shares are held by very rich, very smart, very long-term investors, and are of course particularly leveraged to the upside in the gold price. Adding new attraction, the company has recently enjoyed exploration success on these properties, which has led to some newer, higher grade discoveries that have shareholders quite excited. UEC and Gold Mining Inc. are two distinct strategies operated by effectively the same management team. Led by Amir Adnani, one of the young superstars in the business, these two companies have distinct strategies that are extremely well implemented. One is US-focused uranium, both in the United States and South Texas. Not any kind of uranium, but in situ leach uranium, which is an extraction technology that finds favor both because of its low capital cost and also because of its unobtrusive footprint. The other company, Gold Mining Inc., is a company which has been founded to buy ounces in the ground that may not be economic at current prices, but would be very economic at higher prices. It's interesting to note that these are two distinct operating ideas that have been implemented very well by this young management team. It's also worthy to note that this management team has spent 10 years developing a very loyal shareholder constituency that between the two companies probably exceeds 40,000 retail shareholders. What that means is that increases in either the uranium price or the gold price should reward the shareholders of both of these companies very well. We're delighted to welcome Ardea Resources this year, along with a very strong Australian contingent. We welcome, in fact, all of the Australians. The great mining tradition in Australia incorporates low Australian dollar, good operating technology, and fairly low energy prices. Ardea itself is engaged in exploring a very large project rich in both nickel and cobalt, obviously materials that the world needs to sort of provide the underpinnings for the transformation to an electric economy. We are very large shareholders of Ardea Resources and very supportive of what it is that they're trying to do both in the nickel and the cobalt business. ISO Energy Limited is the latest incarnation of a serially successful exploration team in the uranium business. The team is exploring in their own backyard the Athabasca Basin, which I like to call the Persian Gulf of the uranium business. The frequency of uranium discoveries in the Athabasca Basin, and in particular the grade of those discoveries, has made it the best place in the world to look for uranium. And this team has proven time and again that they have what it takes technically to unlock the treasures of the Athabasca Basin. As the uranium price increases, which we think is absolutely inevitable, we look forward to this team making yet another very valuable discovery. We're pleased to welcome Miles Franklin Precious Metals back to the conference. You will note that we have very few exhibitors that aren't public companies, and we are pretty selective about who we admit. Miles Franklin is a bullion dealer and a coin dealer with whom we and our customers have done business for many years. We have never had a customer complaint concerning Miles Franklin, and we've enjoyed much praise as a consequence of introducing them to clients. We also note that Miles Franklin is one of the dealer partners in our TradeWinds Vault Chain distributed ledger gold product. SSR Mining is the new incarnation of an old friend of this conference and an old friend of Sprott, called Silver Standard. The SSR team, as the name suggests, have branched out beyond silver to silver and gold, and have demonstrated a real knack for buying deposits that are producing but have been neglected by their current owners and returning them to a higher standard of production and profitability. This acquire and exploit technique, if you are good at it, has been one of the real few continually successful ways of building a mining company, and thus far SSR Resources has been exemplary in this particular technique. Trilogy Metals is a very high-grade copper deposit in northern Alaska, a deposit which we believe has the potential to become a Tier 1 discovery. In addition to the existing high-grade resource, we believe that the exploration upside in and around the existing deposits controlled by Trilogy is excellent. In addition to that, we know and trust the shareholder base very well, and we are old friends with the management team who are driving this company forward, who have themselves been very successful in prior exploration activities. Commander Resources is a small, successful Canadian prospect generator. The value proposition here is that the working capital and shareholdings in affiliated companies may exceed the market cap of Commander Resources, meaning that you get the generative skill and the joint venture spending from other partners for free. A top quality generator well versed in every Canadian mineral terrain. If you care about exploration in Canada, you should care about Commander Resources. Eli Gold Royalties is a highly successful Nevada prospect generator and royalty company. These people have been active in Nevada mineral terrain as landmen for probably 40 years. The company has done a very, very good job of strategic staking and farming out of projects, and also of buying private royalty packages from other prospectors that they have known for a very long time. Nevada being absolutely prime exploration terrain, and these people being pioneer prospectors and pioneer landmen in this jurisdiction. We look forward to continuing success with Eli Royalties. CanAlaska is a company employing our favorite exploration financial strategy, prospect generation, and exploring for one of our favorite commodities, uranium. More importantly, this team has been together for a long time. They're not Johnny-come-latelys to the space. And most importantly, they're exploring for uranium in the Athabasca Basin in Saskatchewan, Canada, what I believe to be, in effect, the Persian Gulf of the uranium business.